Welcome to Something Nice with Dinano. I am your host, Dinano Damano, right here on your favorite spirituality and religion podcast. I am your host, Dinano Damano. I am joined today by someone who has now become a regular on the program, on the show, on the channel. Brother Yahunde Batakane, author, public speaker, researcher. Welcome, Brother Yahunde. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
How have you been?
I've been wonderful, just enjoying the increase of the land. The weather is just getting hotter, and it's summer pretty much. Just enjoying it, enjoying the fresh fruit. It's beautiful out here. Africa is, I mean, sub-Saharan Africa is. I think you get this is the season where you get the best fruits.
What fruits are you getting?
Oh man, I love me some mangoes. I love mangoes. I'm getting papayas are beautiful. Pineapples, watermelons. Everything. You you get the best mangoes during this season. So
Mm.
yeah, I was telling my wife that every time we go to the market, we just get really ripe. Like really ready mangoes, and you try them. Coming from the west,
Mm.
it feels like, I mean, for somebody who's never been here, you feel like they're tasting mango for the first time. But for me, obviously, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm back home. It was the best feeling. Yeah,
For someone who's
yeah,
joining
it's
us,
pretty good.
welcome to our live stream. We are engaging Brother Yahunde Batakane. It looks like there's a mix-up there with our link. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I can get in
Okay,
there and change it, but no, we'll leave it like that. Hopefully, people will be able to join it. By the way, talking
okay.
about your wife, I should also say and send a little love to my wife. It is our anniversary today, the 17th of December. We've been married
Oh,
for 3 years now, and we've been together for more than 10 years. Funny thing is, we
my.
both forgot until I
Oh,
got here
wow.
in the studio for the recording. And only
Oh,
then
man.
she says, she gives me a call and says, baby, do you know what's happening today? I really didn't have an idea because what was at the top of my mind was my brother's birthday, which I'd forgotten to wish him happy birthday
Yeah.
yesterday, and I've been meaning to do it
Mm-hmm.
for the longest time today. But I've just been
Mm.
reminded, happy anniversary, baby. I love you very much. When is your anniversary?
Happy anniversary to you both. We going
Thank you.
towards our second year anniversary, so it's been a wonderful. It's been a honeymoon. How many children you have now?
We
You
have
say you've
two
been
children.
married for 3 years. Oh
We have
wow,
two
man,
children.
that's
Yeah.
very cool.
And you on
Yeah,
your
I'm
side?
still on my first.
Okay. Okay.
I'm still on my first, and I'm enjoying the excitement of being a dad. It's beautiful.
Beautiful thing. Yeah. Let's get into the business
Yeah,
of the day. I don't know what's happening. For some reason, it looks like this thing is favoring you over me. But I can just
interesting.
switch it on and off here in the background. Right now, as we've just
Okay.
started, 10 minutes in, we have about 9 people watching. Guys, if you look on the
Okay.
chat, there should be something at the top there. Okay, it looks like our live stream has switched to another channel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the live stream studio back end so that if
Hmm.
you have a question and you want to ask Yahunde live, you can come in
Okay.
here, you can ask Yahunde that question. And if you
Okay.
just want to throw your question there in the comments, put your question in the comments. We'll be able to give it to Yahunde and he'll be able to answer. But before we start, like we did our last interview, Yahunde, can
Hmm.
you lead
Hmm.
us in a word of prayer, please?
Entrepreneur. Of course, yeah. Let's pray. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Magnificence. Thank you, Father. We give you praise. We give you honor. We give you all the worship. That Zambi, ongo tata so nini na nini. We give you praise. We just want to say thank you, Father, for this opportunity to be here in your presence, to be able to gather here with your beloved Father, to be able to share your word, to be able to listen from you, Father. I pray that you order my step, you order each and everyone that's going to be here steps, Father, so that we can speak from you, so that we can, Father, speak from be led by your Spirit, so that we can speak today to our hearts, Father, to the hearts of your people. And Father, I pray that this discussion that is filled with your love, Father, that is filled with your guidance, that is filled with your wisdom, Father, so that we can be able to reach the people that you want us to reach, and Father, and so that you can be able to speak to the people that you want to speak to today. I thank you, Father, for this opportunity to stand in front of you, the people, and I pray that you order my steps from the beginning to the end of the session by your word. I pray and believe. Thank you.
You said Engeta.
Ingeta.
Engeta.
Ingeta, like I said last time, Ingeta means so be it. Is the Kikongo word for to end a prayer. I prefer, like I said again, I prefer that over amen because of the history behind amen, or the significance.
In our last conversation, and thank you to all 16 of you who are
Mm-hmm.
now joining the live stream. I'm still trying to fix something in the back end here so that we are easily seen by whoever is joining the live stream. Yahunde,
Mm-hmm.
just bear with me. But the last time we spoke, we had technical
Mm-hmm.
difficulties, and thank God
Right.
today we don't have such. I'm still trying to fix something in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happening there?
That
There.
was mine. Sorry, I was trying. That was my phone. I apologize.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. In our last conversation, we got cut off
Mm-hmm.
because of technical difficulties, and you were still trying to
Right.
explain what the difference is between the seventh day Sabbath. I'm hoping now we have all reached that stage where we know that the Sabbath is the seventh day of the week. As we know it, based on the
Yeah.
calendars that we use, the Gregorian, it's supposed to be sunset Friday to sunset Saturday. Can we at least agree on that one?
Right. No, no, no. That's no. That's the Sabbath based on the Gregorian calendar,
Yeah, that's what
which
I'm
we've
saying.
already talked about the history of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If we
Based
go by the
on that calendar,
Gregorian
yes,
calendar,
yes, yes.
then if we were to place a day
Uh huh.
on God's holy day,
Mm-hmm.
right, according to the days of the week,
Right. Yeah.
informed by the
Yeah.
Gregorian
Right.
calendar, then we would go
Mm-hmm.
with Saturday, or rather sunset Friday until sunset Saturday.
Yes. If you go by that calendar, you're right. Because Sunday is considered as the first day
Yes.
of the Gregorian week. But again, it's a very complicated calendar. You know, they have a Monday day that we all know see as the first day, and then they have a Sunday day. Like, you know, you can't. The points that I would say is that you can't really tell people what to do with their culture. You know, the Gregorian calendar is a Greco-Roman culture, and they set it the way they want. They have a Monday as being the first day of the week, you know, and then so you can't really go and tell them, no, Monday is not, because I mean it's their culture at the end of it. You know, all these calendar systems are designed based on people's cultures and languages, and and spirituality. So you either submit to their system or you don't. You can't tell them how to switch it. You can only, and that's for me, that was the question, because I tried to look for a Sabbath on a Gregorian calendar, and then I couldn't, because the Gregorian calendar, the way it was designed, does not is not based on the Bible, so it shouldn't have a Sabbath. um it shouldn't You shouldn't look for it. You shouldn't look for a Sabbath on the Gregorian calendar, because, like I said again, the word Grigori, which is Gregorian, which means watches, means the fallen watchers timekeeping. And these are the people that the watchers, the fallen watchers, the book of Genesis talks about, who deceived man and misled man. So trying to look for the timekeeping of the Most High on their timekeeping is almost like like what I would like try like I always use the example of trying to see for a woman to try to find out if she's pregnant using a thermometer. It's just not. It's not a designed to do that. Yeah.
Let's acknowledge the people on the live stream chat. I have Theoni. He is greeting saying
Mm-hmm.
Shalom, brothers. We also have Naya, who has something like hands that are waiting to receive something. Welcome, Naya. Brother Theoni is the first one to drop us a question, Brother Yahunde. I don't know if you can see
All
it
right.
on your side on the screen there, but the question is there. It says, does the
Um,
brother believe in Yahoshua who died on a stake 2,000 years ago? Another question
mm-hmm.
also asks, does he believe in heaven
Mm.
or second coming of Yeshua? Maybe let's start there. Let's start with the people. Or maybe let's park this
Yeah.
one
Right.
and give us an explanation of what the Sabbath is. And then once you've given us the explanation of what the Sabbath is, as you believe, based on the Bantu calendar, then we can get into
Mm-hmm.
Theoni's first question on your belief concerning Yehoshua.
Right. Right. I think I've already pretty much like. I think if I would add to what I already said is I mean the original timekeeping was supposed to base upon the luminaries that the Most High created. The book of Genesis talk about the new moon and everything. The book of the extra biblical texts that we talked about in the last Zoom, including the book of Enoch, Jubilees, and Maccabees, and so many other books. They talk about using these celestial beings or these luminaries to understand the timekeeping. Now, if you're following a calendar that does not respect these factors, you're off. And that's the Jewish people actually currently they follow Saturday as their Sabbath. So anybody that follow that this Saturday Sabbath are actually in line with the Jewish people, are pretty much Judaic. I mean, based on Jewish people, but the Jewish calendar is not really the biblical calendar because they have 4 New Years, they have so many other factors that really just are non-biblical. And then their months of the year as well. Every month of the Jewish calendar is actually Babylonian deity. So many people, many Christians, or those who leave Christianity, the early stages of living Christianity, they see Saturday as the Sabbath because that's what we've been programmed to see. That's the calendar that's in our face. That's been up in application for almost last 1,000 years. So it becomes harder to just put it aside. But when you look at the original timekeeping of the Bible, we follow the lunisolar calendar, and that's really what the Bantu people follow as well. And I gave examples of the Ishango bones in Congo, which archaeologists have proven that it's a lunisolar calendar and a mathematical object. We have the Lebobo bones in Southern Africa. We also have the Inzalo something like the Adams calendar.
Inzalo
That's
Yelanga.
which also proves Inzalo in Inzanga. Yeah,
Inzalo. Let me teach you, brother.
Inzalo. Yeah,
Inzalo
teach me some.
Yelanga. Inzalo Yelanga. The
Inz,
birth of
Inzalo Yelanga.
yes, sir.
The birth of the sun. Is that the one? Yeah. So our ancestors in the southern Africa, Inzalo Elanga, they used that. They were able to go to that place to be able to track the movement of the sun as well as the moon. And you will notice that it's a very high elevation place where they set this up because that allows them to see the setting and the rising of the sun as well as the setting and the rising of the moon. Now, so going with the lunisolar calendar, a Sabbath begins follow the lunar cycle. A lunar cycle is the beginning. It starts at the first sliver all the way to the full moon, and then from the full moon all the way back to the beginning. And this actually is a factor that we all have as humans. We are born into darkness, and then we grow into maturity, where people say that now I'm now an adult. I can to the fulfillment of, I guess, to the youthhood. I mean, beyond the youthhood, I would say to adulthood. And then from the adulthood, people start growing older and dying. And so we go from rising to excitement, to maximum, and then to expiring, which is what the sun does. The sun rises at noon. We have a maximum sunlight, and then it starts to go down. It starts to expire. The light starts to fade, and until sundown. The moon does the same thing. It goes from new moon, which is the first sliver, and then goes to the full moon, which is the maximum, and then start going backward all the way back to where you started. That's what we call the cycle of life. No, so a lunar month has between 29 to 30 days. And so from this 29 to 30 days is where we divide full Sabbath within that lunar month. And this full Sabbath, well, the first Sabbath begins on the 8th day, which is really the 7th day after the new moon. And then we have the second Sabbath on the 15th day, and then the third Sabbath on the 22nd day of the lunar month, and then the last Sabbath we have it on the 29th day. Now the funny thing, you realize that in the Bible, when you read the Bible, you never hear the word Monday, Tuesday, Sunday in the Bible. Saturday, you never hear any of that. The Bible doesn't acknowledge names for weekly days. The Bible uses day numbers. First day, second day, third day. First month, second month. That's the same way Bantu people do. When you look at the Bantu languages before even colonized, before the influence of colonialism, they didn't really have names for months. They would say mwezi wa kwanza in Swahili, the first month, the second month, siku ya kwanza, which is the first day. It wasn't until the influence of Arabic and other languages that in Swahili they would have Jumapili and all the other names they've added on top of that. But the tradition, the pure Swahili, it doesn't have, or pure any Bantu languages. It only says days. It says numbers days. And so people would know. You would hear it was the first month. It was the second month. You hear that in the Bible. You never hear it was January. You never hear it was December. None of that, because we are looking at two completely different calendars. Now, I could go on and just explaining how the calendar works, but my book actually provides a lot of details, like very much explain detail for somebody to be able to really understand, if they really want to understand how to keep how the timekeeping of the Bible used to work, or how the Bantu timekeeping used to work. I don't know if that answers the question.
I hear you, brother. This is a perfect time to just promote your book, let people know where it is available. Yes. And after the live stream, we'll also link it in the description so that people can go to the link and be able to buy it. Tell us briefly about the book, and then we'll go to the questions that the people have posed.
Yes. So my book is called Sunset to Sunset, our Bantu Calendar. It's the first book of the series, My People Who Are Called by My Name. My book talks about, just like the title says, it's about the calendar, but it's more than it provides. It tracks the time. It tells the story of the Bantu people using the calendar. So it explains from explains the book of Daniel and the prophecies of Daniel, and how this beast system started from the time that the beast system started to change the time of the Most High, and how they started to change the people of the Most High, and how they intended even to replace, Psalm 83, how they intended to replace the people and to exterminate them, and it goes all the way to all the history of our people, and why the timekeeping is important, and how, because we all talk about. And I think even to the question of brother V1 or something, he asked the question about, the coming of the Messiah, and all that stuff. The problem is we are using our wrong timekeeping, and they did this on purpose. They have to give us a wrong timekeeping so that we just stay there waiting, without knowing, without the knowledge, and without being able to watch the signs and the clock of the Most High. Because remember, the clock of the Most High is everything that the Most High created is supposed to work for a purpose, but the system that's running this world right now has that out of our faces, so much so that when I have this conversation, people will tell you it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. We're just gonna be Christian. We're just gonna be Muslim. That stuff don't matter. We all saved. We are saved. That's all that matters. The blood of Jesus. And people forget that when you build a car, you have a menu. There's a reason why an engineer create a menu for the car, so that anybody that tries to use the car can learn the menu, and understanding the manual can understand how to use the car. Now, somehow we humans are the only people who are trying to tell the creator what it's supposed to be, based on our emotions and our feelings and our understanding. And it's just really not very nice, very, very biblical, if you like. Actually, it is biblical, because the Bible says that we are very stiff-necked people.
Mm.
that we will not be able to accept, even when it's given to in our faces until the time of the Most High. Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the questions of the
So
people, because this is no longer about
yes,
me. It's about all the questions that people
yes,
have been raising for the two
mm-hmm.
past times that we have hosted you. First time you were talking
Right,
about
right,
why the Bantu people are the people of the Bible, the chosen people of God, and then
mm-hmm.
the part two
Mm-hmm.
of that conversation,
Yes,
we're delving deeper into why we should move away from the Gregorian calendar and now focus on the Bantu
mm-hmm.
calendar, which you've done extensive research on. You've even written a book, Bantu Calendar,
Yes,
from sunset to
yes,
sunset, my people who
mm-hmm.
are called by my name. Theoni asks two questions. The first question from Theoni goes,
Mm-hmm.
does the brother believe in Yeshua who died on a stake 2,000 years ago? The second question, does he believe in heaven,
Yes.
second coming of Yehoshua? Let's answer that one and then we'll move to the other questions.
All right. To answer the first questions, yes, I do believe in the Messiah. I believe that there's the Messiah. The Messiah, has sent us very many people, but he sent particularly the Messiah, which is the Bible considers the second Adam, and through him there's a restoration that took place. And I believe in the second coming. But I don't believe in the same way as Christians believe. That's the thing. And I talk about this a lot in my book. I elaborate more in my book on what that actually looks like, because uh, many of us we awake into the truth, or so we say that that we realize the truth of who we are, but then we still somewhat Christian to a degree. Hello. Um, the Zoom it seems like we're having disconnection.
It's
If you
going
can
now.
hear me, I'll just continue on speaking. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you, Yahunde. Continue.
Okay. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. So yes, I do believe. The short answer, yes, I do believe in a Messiah. I believe that it is important that we walk in His footsteps. That we, that because the Bible describes him as the perfect man. So that when we walk in their footsteps, we have a second chance of becoming the perfect Adam, the perfect Muntu. I like to use the Bantu word for that. And the second part where you say the second coming of the Messiah, yes, I do believe that too. But I do believe that I don't believe in the people flying above the sky, because the Bible doesn't say that people will fly in the sky. It,
Where
and and,
where
and I
do
say
we
I say
where do we get this thing about
I say
flying in the
that
sky?
the Bible talks about how the meek will inherit the land. It talks about the restoration of the land. The restoration of our people and the land. So all these factors implies that people will be restored. Yeah, the Messiah will come, and yes, there will be a rapture, but the rapture is not about flying into the sky. It's about being restored. It's about being awakened. It's about being Christ conscious, if you like. And that's really what I can say to that. And I think that's what makes a difference between a Christian and me.
As human beings, I don't know if it's a matter of feeling comfortable or we like being labeled and labeling things. You speak of Christians.
Mm-hmm,
What would you consider
mm-hmm.
yourself to be when it comes to matters of faith and matters of religion?
When it comes to the Bible, the Bible described me as an Israelite. I see myself as nothing less than a Bantu person, and I say that with a lot of confidence, because of the research that I've done so far has proven the Bantu people and the Israelites are one and the same, just different times as well, and different languages. But the Bantu, I call myself a Bantu. I would like to think myself as a spiritual person more than a religious person, because the religions are designed to, if you like, to control people, but spirituality is designed to free people, or I guess to restore people's connection with the Most High. And it's also a very individual uh, ground, where you are able to connect directly with the Most High. And I think that's what the Messiah came for. It came so that we can be restored back to the Most High, so that we can have a connection, straight, direct connection with the Most High, like Adam did in the Garden of Eden.
We would like to get you, as a person who is listening and supporting the channel, to come into the studio. If you want to show your face, you can show your face, or if you want to hide your face, you can just tell us what you think or whatever question you might have for Brother Yahunde. Sometimes it gets boring to just have
Mm.
comments there on the chats, but we want to interact with you. And that's the purpose of us having these live streams, is that we can get a real feel of a live TV show for us who grew up in the 80s
Mm-hmm.
and 90s, so that we can interact with our guests live. Brother Tim is saying
Right.
that makes led sense about the calendar. The Gregorian calendar is based
Mm-hmm.
on a culture that wouldn't honor the Sabbath. Great content,
That's true.
brothers. Dinano, your sound is low. Okay, let me try to put my sound up so that I'm also
It's
audible.
pretty.
Here's another one. Are you able to
That's
hear me
good.
well on your side, Yahunde?
Yes, yes, I can hear
Okay.
you clear. Yeah.
Bone, just come back to us and let us know if my sound is now better. I am very conscious about
Okay.
distortion, so I try to keep my sound as moderate as possible. Here's another
Mm-hmm.
person who has something to say.
The
Rumash.
question.
They say, is Israel,
Mm-hmm.
if Israel is in sub-Saharan Africa, where are the historical sites
Mm-hmm.
and why are African scholars not aware of this history?
Right. So that's a very good question, brother Rumash. And what I can to give you, I think, and that's a very, I think that's a question that most people have actually been asking. Is they trying to look for evidences of certain infrastructure? You know that the Bible doesn't even say. The Bible doesn't say that we are supposed to look at Roman infrastructure in the land in the promised land. But that's what people are looking for, and that's why we have the conflict of understanding in this factor. Why now the question that the point that I would like to add even to that is that people often say that there's no infrastructure in sub-Saharan Africa. That's not true. We have infrastructure in the Congo Basin. We have infrastructure in of course these are ruins. We have ruins in Zimbabwe, in Great Zimbabwe. We have ruins in East Africa. We have, when you go to Tanzania, Kenya, we have ancient ruins. We have ruins, even bigger ruins. We have bigger infrastructure in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is sub-Saharan Africa. We have ruins. We have infrastructure in Sudan. These are all infrastructure that prove that the ancient land, that sub-Saharan Africa is not as new as the colonizers want us to believe. Now we have ancient, like I said again, the archaeologists have discovered they believe that the founders of mathematics, the people that invented timekeeping and the calendar that we use today, but that the Bible speaks of. These are people who were in Eastern Congo, Western Uganda, in Shango bones. This is an ancient civilization that it was there for people to be able to invent time, to be able to use mathematics as early as more than 2,000 years ago. Now the other factor that I like to point out as well, when you read the Bible, when you read the Babylonian captivity, you read about the Assyrian captivity, you read about the Roman captivity. The one thing that stands out, that's consistent to all of these invasions, is that each of these invaders destroyed the cities. They according to the Bible, even the New Testament teaches that there will be there's no stone left unturned. Which means that they will destroy everything so much so that you won't be able to see anything standing, anything long standing. So with that in mind, if you're looking for infrastructure, that means you don't understand the Bible, because the Bible says there will be left nothing. There will be nothing left. When the Romans came, according to the Bible, they destroyed everything. When the Babylonians did the same thing, the Assyrians did the same thing, and so on. And so we can, that. But in that concept, even now, to the last part of your question, you ask why are African scholars not aware of this history? When we say African scholars, which kind of African scholars are we talking about? Are we talking about the ones who have been educated to colonial education? Or are we talking about the ones who are thinking outside the box and sharing information based on the information that's out there? Because information is out there. We know that the center of the world is in Central Africa. That's the equator line. The Bible describes Jerusalem being the center of the world. We can't have that anywhere else. We know that scientifically the oldest human remains, or the first human, was discovered in East Africa, in the area between Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania. If we believe that, that means that we believe already that the Garden of Eden, or Adam, was from East African. And now the book of Jubilees goes as far as describing the land of Shem as being the same land that was the Garden of Eden. We know that Africa is not the only name of Africa. Africa used to be called Al-Kebulan, which means the Garden of Eden. So all these factors are out there. People those who and I say that to emphasize on the education system. The problem is many of the scholars that we have, not all of them, they're writing what they have been told to write. What they saw every day of our lives. And I'm saying this is factors that have been changed many years ago. It's not something that started yesterday or the other. It's something that have been going on for centuries, if you like. So yeah, I think that's that. Now the question that and I think just to lead back to if brother Ru Marsh, I think my book talks a little bit more about, provides more evidences to the land, to the why Sub-Saharan Africa is the promised land. So if you can go to Amazon and get you a copy, and even reach out to me if you like. Just reach out to me with an email, and I'll be able to send you a link of the book. Thank you.
Okay, let's look at the next one. Based upon the new moon, the Sabbath can fall on any day of the week. That's what Art Christian is saying. Do you agree, Yahunde?
Yes. And I think that's the challenge that sometimes we have when we try to tell people to let go of the Gregorian calendar, because they what they realize is that the biblical calendar, or the the timekeeping of creation, if you like, never doesn't align with the Gregorian calendar in any way at all. So what would happen is, this month, like right now, the month that we're in, our Sabbath, or Samba, which I like to call I use the Kikongo word, our Samba fall on Sundays. Okay, so this month we observe our Sambas on Sundays of the Gregorian calendar. The next month it will be something entirely different. It'll probably be Tuesdays. And so every time people ask me, so which day is the Sabbath? This Monday? Is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? Because every time they see me observing every month they see me observing a different time. And they ask me, is it today? Is it Friday? Is it Saturday? And I'm like, it's not. You're looking at the wrong system. The Gregorian calendar cannot tell the timekeeping of creation, because it does not follow the sun. It does not follow the moon. It doesn't even follow the seasons of the planet, of the earth, which prove to you that it's not of the Most High. So if you wanna serve the Most High, you wanna keep the true Sabbath of the Most High, you cannot use the Gregorian calendar. You have to go back to and once you do, of course, you realize that what happens is it will keep happening like that. It will be Tuesday this month, it will be Wednesday the other month, it will be Friday, and so forth. But you are not wrong when that's happening. It's because the Gregorian calendar is wrong, and so you appear like you think that you are off. They are off for not actually following any of the celestial beings or the creation.
Here's another question, Yahunde, from Franco Fire.
Yes.
He asks, he greets Shalom,
Okay.
peace be upon us. Question, has any of you guys been in Israel and Jerusalem, or been in Mount Kenya? I haven't been. What about you, Yahunde?
I lived in Kenya for, I would say, 10 years. I lived, I've been to Middle East, many parts of Middle East. I haven't been to Israel as per se, but I've done an extensive research on Israel, and Israel actually has pyramids. And when I say this, people be laughing because and then the question will be like, why does Israel has pyramids when Israel is supposed to be the land of, the Holy Land, and pyramids are supposed to symbolize all kind of evil and stuff. Now the question is, why does Israel has pyramids? Because again, this is Palestine, and remember the name Palestine come from the word Palesti, which is a Greek word, which is actually represent the one of the descendant of we used to be the original land of the Philistines before they migrated and went into the land of the promised land, before they follow the Canaanites. So that whole land is Palestine. It's like the land of the Mizraim, or the land of the Egyptians, and that's why you have pyramids in Jordan. You have pyramid in Lebanon. You have all that stuff around over there.
What
So
about the
yes, Israel
pyramids?
might be a nation territory. Israel might be a nation territory, but Israel is not the promised land. There's no evidence for that, because it's also right in the border with Egypt, more than
What about
Israel is.
what about
What?
the pyramids here in Africa, in Sudan? Apparently, Sudan has the most
Yes,
pyramids, about
yes,
300.
Sudan
Obviously, they're
has the
not
most
in the
pyramid.
scale of the ones in Egypt, but they
Yes,
have quantity, not scale.
yes. Sudan, Egypt might have larger pyramids, but Sudan has the most quantity. I mean, the most number of pyramids, and this is because, again, the Ethiopians. I think is Josephus wrote that the Ethiopian, in one of his books, account, he writes that the Ethiopians were the what the founders of Egypt. So what that means is that, and then when the Bible says the Ethiopians, we're talking about Joseph would say the Ethiopians, he's talking about the modern Ethiopian. There's a difference between the ancient, the Greek word Ethiopia, which apply to all of Africa, and then there's the modern word Ethiopia, which emphasizes on the land of Ethiopia. But all of that land, all of the land of Sudan, all that region is the land of Cush. And Cush and Mizraim were brothers. And over time, the Egyptians' extension, because you have to look at the modern land of Egypt is not the ancient land of Egypt. The ancient land of Egypt was very vast. It went as far as Sudan, and it went as far as the Middle East. All land of Ham, from west to east. That's all the region of Ham. That's why you have pyramids in Sudan.
Okay, let's go to our next
And
question.
just before I go on, before we go into the next question, I would like to add that the other reason why we have pyramids in Sudan is that Sudanese and the Egyptians, or I guess the Kushites and the Egyptians work together in so many ways. We have even pharaohs that are Cushitic, like Tut, like many other Egyptian pharaohs are genetically from the land of Kush. Yeah.
Here's another question, Yahunde, from Amkeni Bantu.
Yes.
According to Exodus
Mm-hmm.
31:16,
Mm-hmm.
should the Bantus keep the
Mm-hmm.
Sabbath? Let us read this one, eh? Let's see if we
Let's read it.
can
Yeah.
read this one. Okay, let me share. It reads, "Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations, for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children
Mm-hmm.
of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed." Do you want to respond
Yeah.
to that?
Thank you for that. For reading that. So that's already, the answer is already there already. It says that they shall keep Sabbath holy. So that's already a very powerful statement, that we have to keep the Sabbath for generations. For even the descendants that will come after, they have to keep the Sabbath. So the reason why I'm sharing this calendar, the reason why I even wrote the book, was so that I can be able to bring my people back to the original timekeeping, because the original timekeeping allows you to keep the Sabbath, the actual Sabbath of the Bible. This also allows you to be able to understand, because once you understand where the land is, once you understand who the people are, and then you understand with the timekeeping, that's when you receive restoration, because the Bible talks about, the Bible says that if my people are called by my name, and this is actually why I call my cities called My People Are Called by My Name. It says, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves. I think we're reading that from 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. It say, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. So what this verse is telling us is that if we turn away from wickedness, what is wickedness? Today they will tell you that wickedness is rejecting your Bantu tribe, rejecting your Bantu names, rejecting your Bantu language. That stuff is wicked, and that you should embrace Western culture, which is what we have in Christianity. You should embrace Islam, you should embrace Christianity, and not and reject who you are. I'm here to tell you that the real wickedness that happens historically, you can fact check me if you want. The real wickedness that has existed on this planet was actually brought by this same religion that accused our tribes of being wicked. It was Islam that enslaved our ancestors. It was Christianity that started slavery and colonization. It wasn't our ancestors. Our ancestors were the victim of this wickedness, of this wickedness in the Bible called wickedness in high places. So when we are being told to humble yourself and to turn away from wickedness, you are being told to leave these religions that have oppressed you and have oppressed your people. And go back to the original way of timekeeping, which is keeping the Sabbath according to the Bible, which is observing keeping the commandments according to the Bible, which is acknowledging the Most High as the one and true Creator, and then being able to accept your languages, accept your land, actually protect your land, protect your heritage, your languages, protect your people, not sell your people, not steal from your people, because the Bible talks about that you can't love the Most High that you can't see and hate the people that He gave you. And we all hate that. We all hate our people. We hate because of colonization. We don't love each other. We can't even work together. So for me, I'm calling you back to Ubuntu, which is what the Isaiah, when the Messiah was asked what is the highest form of love, he said, what is the highest commandment? He said love. And in Bantu language, we call that Ubuntu.
Let's carry on. Blind Jedi asks, can the brother also go into the map being upside down? He had something controversial to say the last time we sat down, Yahunde. You were saying everything has been turned has been turned upside down. What is supposed to be down is up. What is up is down. And yeah, people seek clarity on that one. They say, please explain it. And it goes with what other people have been saying. They are saying, if south is north, north is south, then that would also turn around the place where the sun rises. Our east and west would be the other way around. They'd be mixed up. So please explain that one. Let us know what you mean
Right.
by saying north is south and south is north, or
All
up
right.
north and yeah.
I think there's a little bit of contradiction in terms when I never said south is north and north is south.
Okay.
I meant I said south is up and north is down. That's what I said. South is south and north is north, but north is down, south is up. And I said this to say that when you look at if you went to school and studied the Egyptian civilization, what you realize is that there was the capital of northern Egypt, or what we call Lower Egypt. There was an Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. Egypt was divided into two parts. There was an Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, and the capital city of Upper Egypt which was called I think Memphis or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. And this capital was as far close to Europe as possible, but it was called Lower Egypt. And now the capital of what we call Upper Egypt, which is almost close to Sudan. This capital, which is called Upper Egypt, when you assumed, and which shows you that the ancient Egyptians believed that the map is upside down, believed that sub-Saharan Africa is up, which is south is up, and north is below. The Ethiopians believe the same thing. When you study the ancient Nubia, the Nubians, who are the Kushites, they believed they would have Lower Nubia or and Upper Nubia as opposite of each other. They will have Upper Nubia, which is what we call today. If somebody tells you, show me Upper Nubia, you're probably gonna start looking up into North Africa. But to them, they believe Upper Nubia was close to Kenya, and Lower Nubia was close to Egypt. you know. So with all these factors in mind, it's almost impossible. And the reason why these people strongly believed this, it was because they believed the center of the world was in sub-Saharan Africa. They also believed, because this, and they didn't need to believe this. This is evident. The Nile River, which is the longest river on the planet, goes from Central Africa all the way to Egypt. Now, if Egypt is higher, if Europe is above, and Africa and Sub-Saharan is below, how can a river flow from below going up? Nobody can explain that. Only magicians can, maybe, or maybe like maybe somebody can try to explain what kind of phenomena that is. Now, I did some research on the fact that why north was put higher on the map. Many scholars believe that the reason why north is up on the map that we have today is because around between 14th and 17th century, during the European Renaissance, the white man wanted to be the center of the world. That's why you hear saying, like, every road lead to Rome. The white man wanted to put themselves at the center of the world. And that's why actually the Middle East became the center. That's why people today believe the Middle East is the center of the world. And that's why today people uses the map that describe Europe, that depict Europe as being up and Sub-Saharan being low. But every ancient civilization before that, even the Arabs, the ancient Arabs, believe south being up. And that's because what is up. And now the other factor that's very basic as well, that you can go look up, is geographically, when you just look up the altitude of Sub-Saharan Africa, look up the altitude of Kenya, look up the altitude of Angola, you look up the altitude of Lesotho, South Africa, Namibia, and then compare those altitude with what we call Egypt, what we call today Israel. You realize that Egypt is actually lower, on a lower altitude than Sub-Saharan Africa is. Actually, geographically speaking, Sub-Saharan is the highest altitude. That's why countries like Lesotho is called the Sky Kingdom, because it's on a much higher altitude than any other surface ground. I'm not talking about mountains, I'm talking about surface ground. Thank you.
Let's look at this one. Arab Towet asks, are the Luos in Kenya Hebrews? It looks like everyone wants to become a Hebrew and Israelite. Yahunde, you are the one to make that decision.
I'm the one to make the decision. We have to go to the history of the Luos. Being able to live in Kenya for 10 years and even in Tanzania, I think I know a little bit more about the Luo. And all I can say is that the Luo are an Nilotic people, right? The Luos have a history that can be traced back to Sudan. That's where their civilization traces them to. Their oral history traces them back to Sudan. Now, this area of Sudan, Monre and all that region, that's where the land of Kush was. So every time I think of a Luo, or I think of a Dinka person or a Nuer person, I think of the Nimrod. The Bible describes Nimrod as being the strongest man on earth. As being the man that started civilization. So the Kushites stream from that. The Luos are predominantly that. Now, am I saying that all the Luos are Kushites? It's hard to tell today, because many tribes had adopted people and what's not, and so there's so many contradictions that can happen. All I'm saying is the Luo bloodline, which what we call the Luo people. They stream traditionally or genetically, they are Kushites people. They are not Hebrew.
Here's another one. Someone actually agrees with you on that one. Miss says the Luos are River Lake Nilos. Before we go to that question, let's just acknowledge Art, who says, Art Christian says, I just bought your book, so Yahunde will thank you himself.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the purchase.
The book is available.
Everyone else, if you haven't bought the book, it's available on Amazon too. Thank you.
Just say the name of the book again, Yahunde, so that they know how to look for it.
The name of the book is Sunset to Sunset, our Bantu Calendar. You can also just look up my name, Yahunde Batakane, on Amazon, and you can easily be able to get the book. You can find it in hardcover, paperback, on ebook as well.
Here's another question from Lucy Kungu. Asante sana.
Hmm.
That
I like the
word
Swahili
means
part.
something else in my. Do you want to read that?
Where is this?
You can
Who are
say
we talking to right now?
Asante sana kaka for the awakening. My forefathers sacrificed animals
Okay.
to the Most High, and even today they do.
Okay.
I am a Bantu from Kenya. She's Kikuyu, people of
Oh
Ngukiwate
yeah.
area.
Mm. Beautiful
Okay,
people.
so it's a
Uh,
comment.
as,
It's a
as,
comment.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I habari dada kutoka Kenya. Habari ya Kenya. Usalama. Kikuyu people actually, you know, traditionally, culturally, the Kikuyu people are considered the Levite, some of the Levite.
Okay.
And if you go to anybody that get a chance to go to Mount Kenya and actually meet the elders of there, they will show you everything you need to see. Mount Kenya is actually biblically the Mount Zion. That's the mountain where Moses and the Israelites would go up there to pray. And that to this day, people, different Bantu tribes all around the region still go to Mount Kenya to pray
Would Jerusalem
because
then
it's
be in that
considered,
region?
yes, because Mount Zion was in Jerusalem,
Okay.
was part of the territory of not Jerusalem, it was part of the territory of Judah. Now, uh, historically, when you hear words like Jerusalem, actually the word Jerusalem simply means city of peace. When you think about the word city of peace, just forget about the word Jerusalem. Remember the meaning of the word is, and that's what I just would like to tell people. The names in the Bible don't mean anything. Forget about those names. Don't give your child Bible names. Those names are not real. Those are transliterated names. Look at the meaning of the word, and then find a Bantu word that means the same thing. For instance, the word Jerusalem, it means city of peace. When you go to here in Africa, even here when you go to Tanzania, people say Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam means what as well? Dar es Salaam means city of peace or adobe of peace. When you go to which is exactly the same thing, Dar es Salaam, Jerusalem, it's the same meaning, just different. Because Jerusalem is a transliteration of the word of the original word. And then when you go to the west part, you go to Congo. There are places called Banza Congo. Banza Congo was the capital city of the Congo kingdom, which we believe as Bantu people was the heart of all the Bantu, where all the Bantu people came from, and then spread south, west, east from there. Now, the name Banza Congo means city of truth. Now, according to the Bible as well, Jerusalem is considered as a city of truth or city of the Most High. The Bible described the Most High as being the truth. So when you connect all these dots, and then the other factor that I already mentioned before, Jerusalem is described in the Bible as being at the center of the world. The center of the world, according to geography, is around the equator, which is smack bang again in the same region. Now, some people can extend Jerusalem going to as far as Namibia and different other parts of the world. There's a possibility for all of that. But all I believe is that the promised land is in sub-Saharan Africa, not over there in the Levant.
Thank you for joining us. If you are one of the 132 people watching this live stream, we appreciate every single one of you. We are in conversation with author, public speaker, and researcher Yahunde Batakane. He's talking about the African Bantu calendar or our Bantu calendar and the Bible in general, linking people of the Bible to the modern day African people or the Bantus in Africa. We carry on with some
Mm-hmm.
of your questions to Yahunde. Let's find another question,
Okay.
Yahunde. Someone says, one of the primary characteristics of Hebrews is male circumcision. The Luos traditionally didn't circumcise their
Yes.
boys. Bantus are Hebrews. I think they're still answering that question we had earlier on. Here's another one. How are the
Yes.
Bantus
Yes.
the ones called by my name, as stated in Second Chronicles 7:14? Is Ntu a reference to our Creator? Can we check this one out? Second Chronicles 7:14. Let me try to find it here.
Okay.
7, verse 14. It reads, maybe I should share it, right? Let's share this
Mm-hmm.
one so that
That
everyone
would be
can
great. Yeah.
see. Okay. So, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek
Mm-hmm.
my face and turn from their
Mm-hmm.
wicked way, then I will hear
Okay.
from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. So, then what is the question?
Mm-hmm. What is the question?
How are the
I'm curious. Can
Bantus?
you repeat the question? I
How
can't
are the
find.
Bantus the ones
Mm-hmm.
called by my name, as stated in Second Chronicles 7:14? Then they ask, is Ntu
Yeah.
a reference to our
Okay.
Creator?
Now, that's a very brilliant question, because the Bible says, "My people are called by my name," and that's very powerful. The Mosai is, this is a hint. He's telling you that his people are called by his name, and that's why I say there's so many names that people have associated us with. You know, the name Israel is one of them. You know, the name Bantu is another. There's another word that most people are familiar with, is the word Congo. All right, the word Congo. Um, in according to Congo language, the word Congo means truth, or belt of truth. The name of the Mosai is also truth. The Bible describes the Mosai as the truth. Congo is, if you go to Congo, people will tell you they are praying. When you ask them, where are you going? I'm going to church to pray to Congo, to pray to our Congo. So the Congo people call the Mosai as Congo. And then when you go to my tribe, we say Ongo, which is, we take the K is silent. We say Ongo. So, which shows you that these people believe, pray to Congo. Now, the funny thing, you find there's the land called Congo. If you look at the ancient map, if you look at the Berlin Conference, when they were trying to divide Africa, they were divide. It was called, the Berlin Conference was originally called the Congo Conference, because. And then when you look at it, when you study history, like for instance, the family trees, the family that we call the Niger Congo. The reason why they coined it Niger Congo was because Niger simply means black. Congo is the source. So every human being, every black person is a Congo. Congo is the heart of that. And then Congo is the people. Like for instance, any Zulu, a Zulu person is a Congo person, because they are classified as under the Niger Congo. They Ndebele is a Congo person. Sukuma is a Congo person. A Kikuyu is a Congo person. Even when you go to Congo, they have different tribes. You know, the Luba, they are Congo people. We all are Congo. And from this Congo, the name Congo, which is the name of the Most High, also the name of his people, are Congo, or we could call Congo. Now, even our language, the original tongue of all the Bantu is Kikongo. Kikongo is the source. That's why, if you want to be able to truly understand the Bible in a different light, when you study Kikongo language, in the language of Kikongo, if you read the book called the Most Powerful Language in the World by Pastor Melo, it talks about how counting from 1 to 10 in Kikongo describes creation, the whole of creation, the whole of book of Genesis. So Bantu languages can just break down the Bible in ways that you can't imagine. So now back to the word Congo. And then from the word Congo, look at the many people in Congo, they also call the Most High Nzambi. Zambia. When you look at countries that have the same names, you know, we look at Zambia. Zambia comes, well, names like Zimbabwe, Nzambi. When you look at a name like Mozambique, actually Mozambique it means my creator. That's what Mozambique means in Kikongo language, and in many other Bantu languages in Central Africa. So my people who are called by my name, our languages, the name of our countries, the name of who we are as the Congo, is also in many places also the name of the Most High. And I think that's what that verse really, that's where my inspiration is streamed. That's why I call my book series called My People Who Are Called by My Name. My book gives more, again, I would like to reference my book, because it gives a lot of information that I'm not even providing here to explain why I say my people who are called by my name. Thank you.
Why are you not providing that information here, Yahunde? People are going to buy your
I am
book, but
providing.
if we seek
I am
clarity
providing,
on
but
issues, it would be great for
I
you to give us
mhm.
that information right here on the interview. Why
Yes,
aren't you giving
yes.
that information here?
I just did. I just shared all that I share. What I'm saying is that it's hard to share everything here because again, it's a almost over 200 pages book, right? So I can't just put all that. We don't have enough time for it. But I'm okay to share it with anybody. If you have any questions, just ask away.
I hear you. Let's move on to more questions from the people watching and supporting. Please like, share, and
Okay.
subscribe if you haven't subscribed so that we can spread this message far and wide. As I had said in the last
Mm,
video, about 80 something percent of you are not subscribed. So if you are here today and you are yet to subscribe,
mm.
this is a reason for you to subscribe. Let's carry on. Here's another question,
He's the,
Yahunde. There is a Prince
Go on
of
and
Peace.
subscribe now.
There is a Prince of Peace foretold in the book of Isaiah 18. What is your view on this,
Hmm.
please? Let's try to read that scripture because here we are not only
Let's
about
read it.
talking, we want to go to the word and just confirm everything through the word of God.
Hmm.
Let us share
Yes, yes.
what Isaiah says. So here, this is chapter 18, verse 1 to 6. I hope we'll be able to read the whole 6 verses. That land sends messengers
Mm.
across the sea. They go
Across the
on the
sea.
water in boats made of reeds. Go, quick messengers, to a
Hmm.
people who are tall and smooth skinned, who are feared everywhere. They are a powerful nation that defeats other nations. Their land is divided by rivers. Okay,
Mm.
we're not done with this one. Maybe let's just go
Mm.
in and read up until 6 now. Verse 3 says, All you people, all you people of
Mm.
the world, you who live on the earth, when a banner is raised on the mountains, you will see it. And when a trumpet sounds, you will hear it. Verse 4. This is what the Lord says to me: I will remain quiet and will look on from my dwelling place like shimmering heat in the sunshine, like a cloud of dew in the heat of harvest. For before the harvest, when the blossom is gone and the flower becomes a ripening grape, he will cut off the shoots with pruning knives and cut down and take away the spreading branches. They will all be left to the mountain birds of prey and to the wild animals, and birds will feed on them all summer, the wild animals all winter. I don't know if you understand what the scripture says there, Yahunde.
Yes, yes, I can understand. I think um, I did a little research on this particular point, and I'm still working on it. It's a very beautiful question when you ask who are these people. Was that the question? Who are these people that the Bible is talking about?
There is a Prince of Peace foretold in the book of Isaiah
Hmm.
18. What is your
Hmm.
view on this, please? That's the question.
I think the Prince of Peace was foretold, but I think that the people that are being described there, these are Cushites people, and sometimes the Bible talks about them in describing them. They're tall, skinny, and smooth, and have a smooth skin. Um, and that these people are warriors and mighty, and that's what the Cushites are in the Bible. Now, the Mosai likes to reference to the Ethiopian. He likes to, the Bible likes to use, the Bible talks about comparing us to the Ethiopian, comparing the revelation of course the Babylonians or the Cushites who invaded the land. Who uses the Bible. I mean, you read from the I think verse 2 or 3. It described their land is divided by water. This is where the river Nile goes and break into different parts of the river Nile, and from that it goes all the way up. Now, this the same land is what goes into Central Africa, which is where we have the streaming of the four rivers that distribute the four corners of the continent. Now, about the points that you're talking about, the Bible described them as it say woe to these people because of what they did to his people. It says that that they're smooth and they're mighty, but they say woe unto them. Woe represents like the Messiah is going to judge them because the land of Cush, of course, invaded. The Babylon invaded the land of the Promised Land and invaded and oppressed the people of the Most High. That's based on my understanding. I'm still doing research on this particular point because it's a very that is a very broad. It has like a very different layers to it, and I would like to do more research on that. If the brother that asked the question, if they can email me, I'll be able to send more information that I find out just because I want to be able to do more study on that.
I think it's Sister Lucy. Yahunde is saying
Oh,
you
Sister
should
Lucy,
email
yes,
him. Yeah, and then you can take it further. And then you have Art saying, Art
yes, thank
Christian,
you.
who's been participating in this live stream. Thank you for your participation, Art, and everyone else. I see Theone too. I see Miss Lucy too. I see there's someone else that I'm seeing here, Miss JK. She's also been participating. People
Yeah,
have forgotten that Africans have ethnicities. A Bantu and a Nilote are different,
yes,
or a Cushite to a San.
yes.
Here's another comment from
Hmm.
Art Christian. Not all Christians believe the same thing. Yet we have come to realize that. Thank you, Art Christian. If my people who are called by my name, can you please distinctively point
Hmm.
out that the Bantu are the only people in Africa called by his name? Please, Yahunde. This is Travel and Foods. They've also been sticking around for the live stream. I'm glad that we got to now read their comment so that they can be able
All right, right.
to come through and
To share.
be able to be engaged
Yeah.
on this
I think
matter. Yahunde, please answer this one.
I don't
So
know.
when,
I don't.
hold on.
I don't know
Yeah.
if. Hmm. Go on.
Where's the question
What
now?
was?
Oh, yeah, it's this one. If my people who are called by my name, can you please distinctively point out that the Bantu are the only
Hmm.
people in Africa called by his
Who are
name?
called by the Most High's name? Yeah.
It looks
Now,
like
I
there's,
think I've already explained. I think I've
sorry, it
given
looks
an
like there's lightning
elaborated.
there. I need to fix the light. Carry on, brother Yehunde. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. No problem. I think I've already explained what that means in terms of the name Congo, the name Zambi, and the people themselves. Now, why the Mosai is speaking about these people? And then you have to go back to even the word and why a particular group of people called Bantu, because that's what the brother asked is into the attribute of the Mosai. I would even argue to say that the word Bantu is broken as a can be broken down into two words. We have the word Abba and the word two. The word Abba, which means father, it means creator. In Swahili, the word Abba or Baba means father, it means creator, it means the Most High. And two actually implies a nation. It implies refer to a people or a holy people. And when you go to ancient hieroglyphs, the Egyptian hieroglyphs, you realize that the word NTU is actually found in Egyptian hieroglyphs because of the Bantu presence in the land of Egypt. Now, and the Bantu influence in that region as well. And that's why the Egyptians, to this day, the ancient Egyptians believed that the land called the holiest of holy, which they refer to, even the Kushite, they refer to as Kentru, is the land below the equator. And that's the land, the land that they saw as being the holy of holy. Now, this very Bantu people that we are talking about is also and I think I talked about this in the last Zoom, is the Bantu people are the only people, and you can research this, are the only people in the face of the earth who who pray to one supreme creator. And I remember one brother commented that Africans worship many gods. The question is, when you say Africans, who do you mean? Because yes, there are Africans who worship many gods. The same way Greeks, Romans, Arabs, even Jewish people worship many gods. They just call them, they just have them in different names, but they really are many gods because Elohim is not really Adonai. These are different Babylonian deities. Now, when you look at when you look at the reason why I say Bantu people worship one creator is because when you linguistically, when you look at the Bantu languages, there's no Bantu language that can have two names. Like they will have many names, but they're all describing the same entity, the same creator. So in Swahili, when you ask a Swahili person, what's the name of the Most High? He will tell you Mungu. When you ask Akosa, I don't know if I say that right. You know, Akosa brother will tell you the name of the Most High is Sonini Nanini. When you ask any other Bantu language, any Bantu speaker, they will tell you one name of the creator. Now, this is the fundamental principle of the Bible. The fundamental principle of the Bible is monotheism. The Bible teaches us that Abraham was told to leave the land of his ancestors, which is the Chaldean, and go and pray to the Most High, the real creator, the one true creator. From that day onward, Abraham was exposed to the one creator, because before then, his people, who are also Shemites and many of them Hebrew, worshipped many gods, many of them Babylonians and whatnot. Now, the fact that Bantu people worship only one creator, unlike any other people, even when you do research on the Egyptian, I mean the modern Jewish people who are actually Khazarians, the history of the land of Khazar is known for having a lot of deities. When you research the history of even the modern Arabs that we call today, the history before being converted to Islam, they worshipped many gods. And you know, the European, I'm not even going to mention, when you go to Asia, all the Asian tribes worship that are not, you know, Bantu, worship many gods, you know. And then you go to any other parts of the world, you go to America and you find even indigenous Americans, you go to any parts of the world, you find people, they have many different gods. Only the Bantu people, and it's funny that people don't see this because we've all been programmed to, of course, through Christianity, to believe that we are pagan, when our culture, our spirituality, our languages pretty much speak, are the living word. They speak words of the Bible. It's almost like you're quoting from the Bible just by using a Bantu proverb. So these are all factors to prove why Bantu people are my people who are called by my name. Beyond even the name Congo, the name Zambi, Bantu people are the people of the Most High who are called by his name. And I hope that answers your question. Okay. I think I don't know if Brother Dinano, I don't know if you're there with us. Brother Dinano. Um, Hello, Brother Dinano. You there? For some reason I can't see you. All right. It seems like Brother Dinano is not with us, or maybe I'm not with you guys. I will just try to go on and answer some of the questions that I'm looking at. Somebody at Christian said, "What is your email address?" My email address is Yahunde Batakane at gmail.com. So if you just go to my YouTube channel called Yahunde Batakane, you'll be able to see the spelling of my name. Yahunde is Yahunde. Batakane is Batakane. Yahunde Batakane at gmail.com. So you can find me there, and you can ask if you have any question, just email me and I'll be able to respond to you. There's but Dr. Zaki, you said Abba means father, Baba God too, which means existence, God's existence. So that's a very interesting observation, brother Zaki, because yeah, we are the physical existence of the Most High. We are the physical representation of the Most High. And that's why even the name Abantu symbolizes that meaning. And I say this even to the reason why I agree with you is because Bantu words carry many meanings. Like you find this one particular word, it will mean various many things. And that's the difference between European languages and Bantu languages, is that one language, like the word mwezi, for instance, for moon and month and menstrual cycle, symbolizes it sometimes symbolizes very many words that are connected. In Kikongo, you find the word sema, which means create. In Swahili, the word sema means to speak, which literally explains to you how in the Bible, the reason why in the Bible, the Most High spoke words and creation happened. He created the world through the word of mouth. So that already shows you that's why in Kikongo, we had the word sema means create, while in Kiswahili, the word sema means to speak. Thank you for that, brother Zaki. Let me look at if there's any other question here. Yes. All right. There's quite a few points here that I'm gonna read maybe just a few questions. I can't seem to see brother Dinano. I don't know what happened to him, but I hope that he'll be able to join us shortly or something. Okay, so I'll just look for questions, just a few more questions to answer. Oh yeah, thank you for letting me know that he's not here. I can't see him either, but I can see you guys as well. So I'm just gonna go in and answer some of your questions. Somebody Scamza say Tonga people, when they cry they say Yahweh, when they laugh they say Yahweh. Interesting. That's a very interesting information. Scamza. There's also the band Israel say, brother Dinano get caught up in the rapture. That's funny. Brother Maele from South Africa says, Shalom Bantu family. Salama to you, Brother Maele. Brother Arap says, thanks, brother, for the insight. My other question is on the Sabbath. We have Sabbath on Mondays. Is this the same for you? Yes, brother. The Sabbath falls on different days each month. And I think I explained this previously, and I said the reason why that happens is because the Gregorian calendar does not respect neither the sun nor the moon. So it's not that your calendar is off. It's not that the Bantu calendar that you're using is off, or the biblical calendar that you're using is off. It's the problem is the Gregorian calendar that you've been accustomed to, so much so that you think order is disorder. But the biggest disorder is the Gregorian calendar. All right, let's see who else. Brother Bantu Tilama said, Muntu in Kikongo, Mu, which means inside, and Tu means head. Wow, so that's a beautiful revelation. The word Bantu again in Kikongo, these are different Bantu languages, which gives you even much deeper revelation. And this is particularly why I try to encourage people to try to learn Bantu languages. And because many of us who grew up in Christianity, who grew up in Islam, who grew up in all these other religions, even in Judaism, we've been bombarded with lies. That the Latin is the holy language. The Christians are told Latin is the holy language. The Catholic Church. When you talk to a bunch of Christians, they'll tell you that Hebrew, which we call the modern Hebrew, is the holy language. But when you look at the originality of the modern language we call Hebrew is Slavic language. The ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, which is what was the language of the scripture, is actually Bantu language. And that's why the language like Kikongo can break down the Bible in more ways than any other language on the face of the earth. Because Our languages are the languages of creation, and they trace us back to the original people. We remember, according to science, the oldest humans was found in Africa. And I like to say this over and over so that people can really understand what I'm talking about. The oldest humans remain. They are the place where the oldest human was discovered. It was not in Europe. It was not anywhere. It was in sub-Saharan Africa, the area between Ethiopia and Kenya. That being said, we already know that's already implying that the originality of creation, like if you're looking for authentic creation language, you cannot go to modern Hebrew, you cannot go to Latin, you cannot go to Greek, you cannot go to Arabic. You have to go to where the place where the original people came from, and that's sub-Saharan Africa. So with that in mind, every other thing will click, and that's why I try to encourage. If you are Bantu, if you are listening to me right now, I want to encourage you. If you're on the continent and you have a tribe that you know where you come from, I want to encourage you to go back home and study your language, not just speak it. You can speak it already, but I want you to go and study it. There's layers and layers of information that our ancestors put in our languages that will help us, that is helping us to awake to this day and to be able to come back to Him, to the Most High that created the Most High of our ancestors. And the brothers now, to those who are the Bantu diasporans, who identify today as African Americans and the rest. I know that it's probably require you more to learn these languages, but all I can tell you is that when you start, because I know a lot of you are putting a lot of work into learning Yiddish, and all these other languages. And the interesting part is that most people think that these languages are the pure language, but when you look at the authenticity, when you look at the writing system, which we call Paleo Hebrew, which is also Aramaic, which is also Canaanite language. This Paleo Hebrew writing style is not the same as there's a difference between between a language and a writing style or a writing system. Many different people use different writing system over the years. The Bantu people, for instance, when they were colonized by the Babylonians, they will use the Babylonian writing system. When they were in Egypt, they used the hieroglyphs, the Egyptian writing system. When they were colonized by the Assyrians, they used the Assyrian writing system. When they were colonized by the Arabs, when you go to East Africa, you find evidences of writing in Arabic, of Swahili writing into Arabic, not just Swahili. Different other Bantu languages all over East Africa, they use Arabic as a writing system. Now, the confusion that people have is that they mistaken a writing system with a language. Modern Hebrew uses a completely different writing system, which was invented by a Jewish person in around the late 19th century. He's the one that invented Yiddish. I mean, the language that we call the writing system is actually Yiddish, which most people use, thinking is Paleo, is ancient language. Now, the other factor that I just want to be able to give people an understanding of this so that we can understand why Bantu languages are very important. The modern Hebrew that people speak today has no connection with the ancient Bantu, with ancient Hebrew. This is actually a Slavic language, and that's why when you go as far as Russia and Germany, you find languages that are cousin of what we call Hebrew today, because this language, the modern Hebrew, is actually a language from the Caucasus Mountains. It's not a language of the Bible, and the evidence of this is in their tradition. Because remember, language is a carrier of a people's culture and spirituality. When you look at the culture and spirituality of the Jewish people, it's not biblical. It's very, what they worship. When you go, those who have been able to do their research, you find the Kabbalah and many other Jewish traditions are very pagan to the core. So I'm not going to go deep into that. I think all I'm trying to emphasize on is you guys to take the time, and I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. Take the time to study your Bantu languages. Pick up a Bantu language and start learning it. I don't care if you're going to pick up Swahili or Kikongo or Zulu or Lingala or Chiluba or any language that the Most High leads you to. Just pick up one, and you'll find more revelation that you ever find in these other colonial languages. Um, Now there's brother Kihuze says it's almost impossible to find you in YouTube. Brother Kihuze, I'm actually on YouTube. You can find me through. I have a platform. I don't really talk. I haven't started posting much on my platform, but you can find me. You can find my YouTube channel. It's called Yahunde Batakane. My name. Just go in there, look up, and you find me. Uh, and brother Brother Etan says shalom to you and all esteem unto Yahuwah. Salama to you, brother Etan. Um, brother Kimberly say, is the Bantu written language similar to Hebrew writing? Thank you. That's a good question. That's what I actually just finished explaining. I hope that my explanation answers your question, Kimberly. The Bantu people have had different writing systems over the years. Now, what I can say to you that's similar to the ancient Hebrew writing system is the linguistic structure of the Bantu language. Remember, Bantu languages are tonal languages. If you look up the description of the ancient Hebrew language, it is a tonal language. And so scholars will tell you that ancient Hebrew died. The ancient Hebrew language, it died. So they invented a new one, which we call the modern Hebrew. I'm here to tell you that ancient Hebrew is not dead. It's still spoken by the original people. Black people are the original people. They're the only people that we can go to if you are looking for authenticity to anything that's original, anything that's of creation, because they are the beginning. Even people like Darwin, you try to use the evolution theory of creation. He put black people as being, even if he called them primitive, he's still in some way acknowledge that black people are the original people, where everybody comes from. With that in mind, you cannot go looking for any evidence of creation, any evidence of the original language in another people. And I want to straight so much on that particular point. There's brother Tim, I think you say, Yahunde, your explanation of the map being wrong also lines up with the fact that there are biblical sites in South Africa and Namibia and other parts of the continent. Yes, brother, and you say, has Yahunde heard about this? You are right, brother Tim. There's evidence, there's ancient maps you can find. And when I say the promised land is in Sub-Saharan Africa, I'm not just making up claims. I provide evidences in my book that clarify this. Now, there are maps out there. You can find them. You can and the Renaissance period, because the Renaissance period is a time when everything was written, everything was changed to